Okay, this is coming straight from my webcam, so it hasn't been edited or anything like that. But I think I'll start doing a series of videos on how to do some math. So when you watch these videos, if you have a certain problem that you'd like to see worked out, let me know and I'll work on it. And as I have time to do, because I'm also a teacher, but I'll work on it and I'll publish solutions to them on my YouTube here. And anything from Algebra 1 up through Calculus would be okay. And I don't do a whole lot with statistics. I won't be of much help with that. But it could be geometry, algebra 1, algebra 2, trig, the free cal stuff, and calculus, I say. But this one here, for this video, this is a x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. And I'm going to solve it by factoring and show you how to factor a quadratic equation. Now, when I do future videos, I'll probably try to make it a little more professional and have the actual wording up on the screen rather than this one here. But I'm going to factor it, and the key to factoring is that last term. I have a 6 on my last term there. And what I need to know is what are my factors of 6, because when I factor and when I multiply two factors or two binomials back together, I've got to get the original equation. So obviously, if you multiply 6 times 1, you get 6. Okay, but there's another way to get factors to multiply together to get 6. I can do 2 times 3. Okay, 2 times 3 is also 6. Or 2 times 3 is 6. So if I'm going to factor out for this original equation, I've got to figure out what numbers are going to work in there. So I'm going to write a setup like this. I'm going to put x in parentheses, just like you see there, times another x in parentheses, and then I've got to figure out what's going to work. Now, if you know FOIL, you see you got to get a negative x in the middle there. Okay, so if I do, let's say I do 6 minus 1. I do 6 minus 1. Well, that's 5 right there. So that's not going to give me what I want. If I do a 1 minus 6, well, that's going to be negative 5, and that's not going to give me what I want either. Okay, if I do 3 minus 2, okay, that's going to give me a positive 1, obviously, and that's not going to give me what I want. So what I want is 2 minus 3, and that's going to give me a negative 1. That's going to give me a negative 1 right there. That's what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, and I'll explain this as I do it, I'm going to put, let me see here, a plus 2 here, and a minus 3 here. I'm going to put this here. It's going to look like this. When I multiply that, I'm going to get x squared plus 2x minus 3x and a minus 6. And that's going to give me my original equation here. Now, we have something called FOIL. First, outer, inner, last. The word FOIL means I multiply the first two terms together. I multiply those two terms together, the two x's. X times x is x squared. That's x squared right here. And then I multiply the outer terms. So the outer terms are going to be the x and the 2. So I get x times 2, that's 2x plus 2x. So I get plus 2x. Then I'm going to multiply the inner terms. The inner terms are going to be x times negative 3. That's going to be the inner terms, minus 3x. And then finally, I'm going to multiply the outer terms. Now the outer terms are going to be my negative 3 and my 2. Negative 3 times 2 is a negative 6. Okay, now there's a couple other methods to use. I'm showing you one method. Then I'm going to collect my middle terms. I'm going to do 2x minus 3x. That's going to give me negative x. So I'm going to have x squared minus x minus 6. And if you look, I got my original equation back here. So I know my factors check out. So now that I know my factors are good, I'm going to solve. I've got x minus 3 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. I know that that setup is a good setup. So I'm going to proceed to solve and get my values for x. So I get x minus 3 is equal to 0. I get x plus 2 is equal to 0. So I have this right here. X minus 3 is equal to 0. X plus 2 is equal to 0. Now on the left side, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I'm going to do plus 3 and plus 3. Okay, the 3's on the left side cancel out, and I get x is equal to a positive 3. That's one of my solutions. And then I'm going to do a minus 2 on both sides. On the right side right here, I'm going to have minus 2 and minus 2, and x is equal to a negative 2. So, x equals negative 2. So I've solved the quadratic equation by factoring. And x is equal to a negative 2, and x is also equal to 3. It has two real solutions, negative 2 and 3. And I just did that problem in about 5 minutes. And so there'll be others up here on the web as I have time, and if you have any sort of questions, let me know.